Thank you. Did we make it through the manager of record questions?
Yes.
Okay, my apologies. And are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Calling George Best, Inc., doing business as Lear, located at 903 to 905 Boylston Street. Holder of a common vitular 7-day all alcohol beverage license, has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to Powder Dry, Inc., doing business as Leader Bank Pavilion, 290 Northern Avenue. The entire premise, known as the Leader Bank Pavilion Performance Space, including seating, 5,493 capacity, concessions area, concourse, and private function space. Joseph Dunn, manager. Attorney Dennis Quilty, and for the record, the existing license at this premise has been approved to transfer to a new location. Attorney Quilty?
Thank you, Attorney Delaney Hawkins. Again, Madam Chair, members of the board, Joe Dunn is with us this afternoon. This is indeed the application to relicense, if you will, the music pavilion, which is now known as the Leader Bank. It was formerly known as Blue Hills Bank Pavilion. That major sponsorship changed to Leader. Everything else remains the same. As the attorney suggested, the license, which had been in place at this location for many years, was transferred out at a recent hearing by this board, allowing the new application to be made. The new application is to bring Mr. Dunn's license, and I just want to, as an aside, suggest that this is actually one of the good news stories out of our COVID fiasco. And then Mr. Dunn lost two businesses in the Back Bay, Lear and Globe, both of which are on today for hearings to be transferred out, thereby at least allowing he and his business partner to maintain some value out of the horrible situation that they've gone through for the last year. So the license that we're asking to transfer to the pavilion is from Lear, which existed for many years on Boylston Street and has since closed due to COVID. So we hope to transfer the license to the pavilion. It is an all alcohol license. We have vetted this with the community. We had a meeting with the entire South Boston delegation, including Congressman Lynch, City Council, State Senator Collins, Representative Beal, City Councilor Flaherty, and City Councilor Flynn. And we've had discussions as well with the Office of Neighborhood Services. And we've had nothing but total support from all of the above personnel for Mr. Dunn, for the group that he's putting together to bring down here. And for the pavilion, which for many, many years has been a source of jobs and interaction with the South Boston community, which all of the electeds and the above folks were happy to see continue, and Mr. Dunn intends to continue in that fashion. He's reached out to the area captain, so we think we've done a great deal of community outreach and find that there's complete support for this. And we're hopeful that the pavilion gets reopened as the state and city regulations begin to wind down, from the COVID threat. So Mr. Dunn is an approved manager by this board, but we're happy to answer any questions the board may have in this regard. Thank you.
So this license is going to cover the entire pavilion, and there's a restaurant space there too?
Yes, ma'am. It's exactly the same description that's been on the site for many, many years. The previous license was a beer wine. It was then amended, changed to beer wine cordial. And that license has always extended over the entire facility.
Okay.
Since its inception.
Okay. Thank you very much for explaining
Yes,
it.
ma'am.
I don't have any questions. Commissioner Saxon, Commissioner Curran? Leslie, you're on mute.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this application, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Lisa High with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Speaking on behalf of my colleague, Haley Dillon, the Mayor's Office would like to go on record to support as they have done proper outreach and our office has not received any concerns. Thank you.
Are there any other elected officials or representatives of elected officials who wish to testify? Are there any other individuals who wish to testify?
Good afternoon.
Oh, sorry, Anna, go ahead.
Good afternoon. No problem. Good afternoon, Madam of the Chair, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Councilor Flynn's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. The Leader Bank Pavilion has a performance space and seating available for more than 5,000 people, and it's a major venue within the South Boston waterfront, and it has proven to be a good neighbor in the community while providing employment to many residents. The proponent has also presented to the 4 Point Neighborhood Association, who has received support from them as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify?
Yes, Karen Foley,
Oh.
Councilor Sabi George's office would like to go on record in support and looking forward to the pavilion opening up.
Thanks, Karen.
Thanks.
Madam Chair, members of the board, Alicia Payne here on behalf of Councilor Flaherty, wishing to go on record in support as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other individuals who wish to testify? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody,
Thank
for your
you.
testimony.
Thank you.
Calling High Street TRS LLC, doing business as High Street Place, located at 100 High Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned for an approval of a management agreement between High Street TRS LLC and Rissman LLC. Attorney Dennis Quilty.
Good afternoon again. Thank you very much. The board is no doubt remembers approving the license at this location for a multiple management agreement situation at the new facility on High Street Place. When the application was approved last year, actually, there was one of the management agreements which we had to refile, which is this one, due to concerns raised by the ABCC. So we are back to complete the filing, if you will, by adding the last of the management agreements for the facility. No other changes are anticipated whatsoever. We did have a call from the downtown bid asking what the application was for. We explained it, they remembered and said, fine, they had no objection. So again, it's hopefully just filling in the last space at the location in a similar fashion to those which the board has approved in the past. And we're hopeful to get open actually sometime soon.
Thank you.
And I know Lauren Johnson, who's the marketplace manager for the licensee, is with us this afternoon. If there are any questions of her.
No, I don't have any questions. Commissioner Saxon, Commissioner Curran.
Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter? Seeing none, the board will take it under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling Cantona Inc., doing business as Globe, located at 384 Boylston Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license and the location from the above to Omni Boston Seaport Entertainment LLC, doing business as Omni Boston Hotel at the Seaport, 450 Summer Street. The entirety of the Omni Boston Hotel at the Seaport, consisting of 11,371 total square feet on 22 floors, including 1,054 guest rooms, meeting and event space, spa, retail and fitness areas, terrace and pool bar, full service restaurants, to-go market, sporting club, brasserie, and boulangerie with dining areas and bars located on the ground floor, as well as the lobby and lobby floor on the ground floors. Michael Charles Jorgensen, manager. Secondly, has petitioned to change the license type from common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license to in-holder all alcoholic beverages license. Lastly, has petitioned for approval of management service agreements between Omni Boston Seaport Entertainment LLC and Kohei LLC and Omni Hotels Management. Attorney Dennis Quilty.
Thank you, Attorney Delaney Hawkins, Madam Chair, members of the board. This is a very exciting creation of a new hotel in the Seaport to hopefully accommodate our city's reopening and the convention center's reopening as we move into the rest of the calendar year. I just want to start by saying that Mr. Jorgensen, who's the proposed manager of record, is a previously approved manager by this board at numerous hotel spaces in the city. We are here to apply for the transfer. This parenthetically is Mr. Dunn's second license on the list today, Cantona Inc., to be transferred to the Seaport for this hotel use and to change the classification to in-holder for the hotel uses. And there are two management agreements we're hoping to provide. One with COJ, which will be the management entity for restaurant services in the hotel, and Omni Hotels Management Corp. Managing the rest of the guest areas, the rooms, function space, and ballroom space, et cetera. So it's, if you consider one management agreement for the formal sit-down dining space in the restaurant, and one management agreement for the hotel rooms, ballrooms, function space, et cetera. And we have, this matter was fully vetted through the Article 80 process with the BPDA and the community in its earlier go-around, if you will, for the development of the property. We did reach out to ONS, and they confirmed that that had taken place and no further outreach was required. I also reached out to Councilor Flynn's office this week to make sure that they were aware of it, and they were had the same, no concerns. There had been full community process in the, if you will, development of the hotel space. But obviously, we're happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. I'm sorry, did you say Mr. Jorgensen is already a manager of record approved by this board?
He has been an approved manager of record by this board. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And I know I saw he's here somewhere.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So there's one manager of record, but two management agreements?
Well, yes, because the licensee, so Mr. Jorgensen will be the manager for the licensee. The licensee then has two separate management agreements
Okay.
for the operations. So he's the responsible licensee entity, manager of record.
Okay. I don't have any questions, Commissioner Curran and Commissioner Saxon.
Seeing no questions, are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter, beginning with alleged elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Lisa High with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services, speaking on behalf of my colleague Haley Dillon. The Mayor's Office would like to go on record to support, as they have done proper outreach and our office has not received any concerns. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa.
Good afternoon, Madam of the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Councilor Flynn's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. The Omni Hotel at the Seaport will be a major venue within the South Boston waterfront and Fort Point neighborhood, and will add to the vibrancy of the community. A liquor license at this location will be critical for its operation, help to provide employment to our residents, and improve the economic vitality of the city during our recovery. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Calling it Delta Airlines, Inc., doing business as Delta Sky Club, located at Logan Airport, Terminal A. Holder of an airport club all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to amend the description of the licensed business from on third floor of Satellite Building of Terminal A, Gate 17, containing 7 rooms, a bar, and 178 seats, to the Sky Club premises on the third floor of the Satellite Building of Gate A, containing 17 rooms, a bar, kitchen, bathrooms, showers, and 400 seats. Attorney Joe Devlin.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Commissioners. Joe Devlin, partner at Upton Canal and Devlin at 112 Water Street in Boston. With me is Bruno Loosely. I did see him on here. I don't see him on my screen right now, but he's on here. Bruno, are you on with us? Bruno?
Yes, good afternoon. I'm on. I don't know if you can hear me and see me. Yeah.
There he is. Yes, we can see you. Thank you, Bruno. And we're here. I've been trying to figure out how to say this in the least complicated way possible, but we were here and introduced the idea of this phased renovation of an expansion of the Terminal A satellite building Delta Airport Lounge and Club in January of 2020. And now you know what's going to say next, which is the pandemic hit, and this was approved in October of 2020. So there was a lag time in between. And what was approved is, if you look at the premises map, it's an isosceles triangle. And, the original license was the right half of that triangle, which also formed a right triangle. So the right side of that triangle was the original licensed premises. They were expanding as part of their expansion plans at Logan. And they were the phase one was going to be the left side of that triangle. And that's where they were going to operate while they renovated the original side. And then at the end in phase three, the entire premises would be used. Phase one didn't happen because of the pandemic. I don't need to explain what happened in the airline industry, but they just froze all spending, and they're not sure when they're going to do it now. So what we actually need to do is go back and include the original space exactly as it was originally run and set up on the license, because that's where they're going to operate out of for the foreseeable future. Honestly, it's our hope that we could get the whole several phases approved in one swoop to save some time and money and some timing considerations. But obviously, be very happy to walk out of here with just the original space relicensed and put on the license so that they can get open again.
Thank you for explaining that. I don't have any questions. Commissioner Curran and Commissioner Saxon?
No, thanks.
I think that's the first time I have ever heard geometry in a licensing board here.
Isosceles triangle and right triangle.
Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everybody. Nice to see you again.
Calling Roundhead Brewing LLC, located at 1 Westinghouse Plaza, has applied for a farmer brewery beer only pouring license and common vitular license to be exercised on the above. The applicant's premise will occupy the entire first floor of unit H107 of 1 Westinghouse Plaza. A tap room and bar area will be in the center of the premise, 2,044 square feet, with 2 means of egress in front and left side of premise as you walk in the front door. There will be an annual patio, 1,100 square feet on private property, weather permitting, 16 seats on left side of building as you walk into main door. Patio hours of operation, Wednesday, Thursday, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., Friday, Saturday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Sunday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Indoor hours, Monday and Tuesday closed, Wednesday and Thursday, 12 p.m. to 9 p.m., Friday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., Sunday, 11 p.m. to 9 p.m. Manager Craig Panzer, closing hour 11 p.m. Attorney John Cannell. Attorney Cannell.
Good afternoon, Ms. Joyce, members of the board, Attorney Delaney Hawkins. I am Attorney John P. Connell from the law firm of Upton, Connell, and Devlin for the licensee, Roundhead Brewing LLC, and I believe I have Craig Panzer here. Craig, you need to unmute yourself.
I'm here.
There you go. Good afternoon, board members. The applicant has a brewery license at 1 Westinghouse Plaza in Hyde Park, and they're applying today for a farmer series pouring permit and also a common victular license. Craig Panzer, who's here, is a U.S. citizen. He's a Massachusetts resident. He has experience in the food and liquor industry. He's familiar with the rules and regulations relating to the provision of alcoholic beverages in Massachusetts, and he's tip certified. Craig and his partner, Luisa Espinoza, have been working on this project for, it seems like a year now. They first came to us, and they want to turn what is basically a dilapidated abandoned building, from what I can tell, into a neighborhood brewery, tap room, and restaurant. With regard to public need, both Craig and Luis have been canvassing this neighborhood for almost a year, and they've heard a very strong, if not commanding, scream for the need for a local brewery, tap room, and restaurant at that location. Mr. Panzer and his team have met with the various neighborhood associations, and I believe they've all been largely successful. And I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Panzer, who wants to say a few words about his project.
Sure. And I'm also joined here by Luis Espinosa, who is online with me. Luis and I are focused on a a community small business in Hyde Park, a restaurant brewery offering great beer that's always exciting and always unique. We will produce local beer in 5-barrel batches available for retail in 4-packs to go and in pints from the bar for on-premise consumption with food from our pizza kitchen. Within 5 years, we're going to be an 8-employee company with all employees guaranteed a starting wage of $16.70 an hour, plus tips for non-managers. We are also the first Latino-owned brewery in Massachusetts, one of fewer than 200 Latino-owned breweries in the whole country.
Can you repeat the last part? How many in the whole country?
There are fewer than 200 Latino-owned breweries in the entire United States, out of about over 5,000.
Interesting. Thank you very much. So it'll be beer and then you'll have a pizza kitchen.
That's correct.
Okay, Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon, do you have any questions?
No questions, thank you.
I believe we just need to do, unless Attorney Canal covered them, the manager of record
He
question.
did, yeah.
Okay,
he
thank
covered
you.
them.
Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Hi, good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board, Danielle Fonseca with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Our office would like to go on record in support of Roundhead Brewing. The applicants have done extensive community outreach to various neighborhood associations in Hyde Park, in addition to Hyde Park Main Streets and including some nearby schools. On March 15th, they received a letter of support from the Hyde Park Neighborhood Association. March 23rd, they received a letter of support from the Lofts at Westinghouse Condominium. And on April 26th, they held a special neighborhood meeting with the Reeville Watch Community Group at Acciano Playground with the community in support. And a butters meeting for this proposal was held Thursday, May 20th. Some concerns regarding safety around a gate that's located on Reedville Street, which provides a back entrance alley to the plaza, were addressed. Concerns were mainly regarding noise disturbances, busyness on the street, and the potential for more activity and traffic. These concerns seem to be geared towards Westinghouse Plaza as a whole and not specifically to Roundhead Brewing, but the applicants did express that they always want to look out for one another as neighbors and work with the community to help resolve these issues and alleviate any concerns that pertains to the safety of this brewery. Additional concerns were raised regarding the brewery being close to a school, Academy of the Pacific Rim, as well as student safety for the potential traffic increase. The applicants have stated that they wish to make Roundhead Brewery a family-friendly establishment, and this brewery will not just be a place for beer that is served, but a place for the community to come together, and eventually a place where the community can hold meetings as well as events. Our office fully supports this proposal, and we are looking forward to the business the brewery will bring to Hyde Park and the positive impact that we feel it will bring to the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other elected officials or representatives of elected officials who wish to testify?
I'd like to speak.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. Jordan Frias here from Councilor Arroyo's office. I'm calling, speaking in support of this this applicant.
Thank you very much. Are there any other elected officials or representatives of elected officials? Are there any other individuals who wish to testify? Please state your name, address, and affiliation, if any, for the record.
Go ahead, Scott.
Yes, my name is Scott Beatty. I'm a resident, 31-year resident, Hyde Park, 62 Central Ave, Hyde Park, Mass. No affiliation with this entity, although I've performed leadership roles with Hyde Park Main Streets and Hyde Park Board of Trade. I just would, as a resident, like to say that we're very excited about Craig and Luis coming to Hyde Park. It seems like this is a great fit for our community at this time, where their partnership and willingness to partner with the various entities in Hyde Park, as well as other businesses, to create some synergistic marketing opportunities and create a sense of community is very laudable, and we're very excited to have them in our community.
Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter? Pamela, please state your address for the record.
Pamela Ross, 1 Westinghouse Plaza, Building C in the Lofts at Westinghouse. So I represent the chair of the Lofts at Westinghouse Board Condo Association and for Motherbrook Association, which is the entire Westinghouse Plaza. I would just like to say on behalf of the Loft Board, we are fully in support of this project, that Craig and Luis have been extremely communicative and willing to work with us as very close residential neighbors. The Motherbrook Association, I did want to point out that the Academy of the Pacific Rim is a member of the Motherbrook Condo Association. They were unable to attend, but they have no objections to this project and support it. So we're very excited to welcome them into our neighborhood, hopefully.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter? Seeing no one, the board will take this under advisement. Oh, I'm sorry.
I think Tian wanted to speak.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Tien Simpson?
Yes.
Okay, please state your address for the record.
Yes, Tien Simpson, 54 Neponset Ave in Hyde Park. I'm a Hyde Park resident for the past 23 years. My job is actually director of Hyde Park Main Street, but I'm here as a resident in support of this organization. They did a crowdfunding campaign and they had a pretty lofty goal, in my belief, which was over 100,000, and they met and exceed that goal, which shows you that there is a definite positive vibe coming from this company that people want to support. I myself invested personally into this company, and we would love to have them be successful in Hyde Park. As a director, I know that this would definitely bring more people outside of the community to come in and know what a gem we have in our community. And we hope that you guys will give them your support. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify? Seeing no one, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 17 has been rescheduled. Calling Sobo Bistro LLC, doing business as Sivo Boston, located at 69 L Street, has applied for a common vitulers 7-day wine, malt, and liqueur license to be exercised on the above. Restaurant on 2 floors, 2,161 square feet. First floor to be occupied by a bar with seating table capacity of 40, an open kitchen and food prep area, and 2 bathrooms. Basement to be occupied by refrigerators for food and beer storage, other storage, office bathroom for staff, mechanical and prep space. Manager Michael Norton, closing hour 1 a.m. Attorney Joseph Hanley. Attorney Hanley? Is Attorney Hanley present?
Yes, but I can't hear him.
Oh, Attorney Hanley, we cannot hear you. Still cannot hear you. Why don't we move to the next item and then we'll take a second call. If Maria's on, Maria, could you make sure that Attorney Hanley has the dial-in information if he needs to connect by phone, please? Calling 86 Mass Ave Wild Duck Inc., doing business as Wild Duck, located at 86 Massachusetts Avenue, has applied for a retail package store all alcoholic beverages license to be exercised on the above. On 1 floor, 3,096 square feet, consisting of sales area with beverages and food displays, wine tasting area with bar top seating, product gondolas, 16 product coolers, walk-in coolers, storage area with employee kitchen and lounge, restroom and office. Manager Lalit Verma, closing hour 11 p.m. Attorney Stephen Miller. Is Attorney Miller present?
Members of the board, Madam Chair, Marcy Toss on behalf of the applicant from McDermott, Quilty and Miller, 28 State Street in Boston. Here on behalf of the applicant, 86 Mass Ave Wild Duck Inc. We are seeking a all alcoholic beverages package store license to be operated at the premises. The concept is for it to be a high-end specialty food store offering items such as meats, cheeses, different condiments, spreads, fresh pasta, as well as prepared food brought in from local vendors around the state, and to be accompanied with those items, the wine, beer, and spirits as well. It is meant to be a one-stop shop for all the things that you'll need as the city starts to open up and you're welcoming people into your homes for parties or gatherings, dinners, that you can just stop right there at your local neighborhood shop and pick up everything you need. Lalit Verma is on the call with me as well. He is the owner operator as well as the proposed manager of record. He has extensive experience in the food service and alcohol business. He's worked for Whole Foods as a specialty team leader for over 10 years. He is a Massachusetts resident as well as a US citizen, and he is aware of the rules and regulations of this board and the ABCC as they pertain to the sale of alcohol in the state of Massachusetts and the city. We have met with the community through an abutter meeting, as well as meeting with the Neighborhood Association of the Back Bay. And through our meetings with them, there are some things that we want to stipulate that we are requesting with the license. When meeting with NAB, the community was, of course, hesitant with things such as NIPS and singles. So we worked with them and are requesting to add a restriction to the license that doesn't allow NIPS. However, instead of just generally limiting singles, we are requesting language that reflects something similar to NIPS and nationally advertised singles. Because it's going to offer craft beer, it is a commodity of a craft beer lover to be able to go in and kind of curate the 6-pack or 12-pack that they're looking for. If they're having a party and doing a pairing with craft beers, they might want to, be able to pick out different ones rather than purchasing 4 or 6 packs of what's offered. And so we don't want to eliminate that possibility from the options at the establishment. So by sort of narrowing that singles description, we're hoping to eliminate those brands that might be thought of more as a grab and open when you hit the sidewalk, which is what we know the neighborhood is really trying to avoid with any new alcohol service businesses in the area. If anyone has any questions, we're happy to answer them.
Thank you. Just in relation to the entire specialty food store, in your estimation, how much of that space is going to be set aside for, like, square footage wise, for the beer and wine, for the package store?
I would say that the majority of the square footage will be for the package store items. There's going to be an extensive national and international wine display, as well as a number of product coolers. The overall, this is an estimate, Lalit is on the call and he can jump in if he thinks it's going to be different, but I would say it's probably going to be 75% for the display of the alcohol products. They do take up more space, but mixed in with those are going to be your food items. So the meats, the cheeses, the crackers. There are, from the renderings, 6 that I can think of off the top of my head, displays completely dedicated towards food in the space.
Okay. Where is the closest package store?
So in the community, there are a few package stores. There is Marlboro Market, which is located all the way across Com Ave at the corner of Marlboro and Mass Ave. Also the Quality Mart, which is at the corner of Beacon and Mass Ave. And then the closest neighbor is probably Bauer Wine and Spirits, which is on Newberry Street. However, those are much more of a classic package store concept. If I were to look at the closest concept that's similar to what we're presenting to you today, it would be Eataly all the way at the Prue. And if you're a resident of the Back Bay over on Com Ave, you may not want to have to venture all the way to the Prudential Center in order to get these items. So it's offering that high quality product just right at your doorstep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you have any questions?
Just could you be a little more specific how you would differ in concept from, say, like Bauer?
Yes, so the concept is really focusing on bringing in those specialty food products rather than, catering towards someone going in to grab, just the alcohol that they're looking for. So it's really meant to offer a whole experience of being able to grab everything that you're looking for in one stop. So if I'm having a dinner party or I'm on my way home from work and I'm just looking for something great, I can pick up everything to make a charcuterie board and the wine, some craft beer if I'm looking for it as well on my way home. I don't have to stop at multiple locations. It's not as much a concept of I need a 12-pack of this and a 6-pack of this and 2 bottles of wine, so I'm gonna venture to Newberry Street. It's I'm trying to curate an entire experience and I can go to that one spot and grab all of that in one place.
Just to ask for a clarification about the singles, your request about, I guess, amending that condition. So is it that you're saying that only certain kinds of beers would only be as singles, or are you trying to say that you would like singles to be, you can buy them in groups of 4 if you want 4 different
Actually,
kinds?
why don't I address that? With a no nips, no singles provision, that does not prevent a licensee from mixing and matching certain types of craft beer. So there's no need to amend the no nips, no singles condition. It's just that even with a craft beer, you cannot sell a single on its own. You can still mix and match those different types or different brands. It's just that a single on its own would not be permitted to be sold.
That's good clarification. Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you.
Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. George Wynn with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant completed outreach to local civic groups. During the abutters meeting, the applicant stated on the record that no nips and singles would be sold. A few abutters voiced support, though there were also concerns regarding loading zones as well as late hours of operation relative to surrounding businesses. But at this time, the mayor's office is comfortable going on record in support.
Thank you. Are there any other elected officials or representatives of elected officials who wish to testify?
Hi, I'm Lauren Birdie from Councilor Box Office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. The Neighborhood Association Back Bay is in non-opposition, and it would be great to have a wine and cheese shop in the neighborhood, especially right now after COVID. We're a very welcome addition to Back Bay with a small local business. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this application?
My name is Conrad Armstrong from 439 Marlborough Street. As was mentioned, they met with the Neighborhood Association. We're happy to hear that they agreed to not sell nips. Marcy, you may want to clarify the no singles. They asked for and NAB agreed to let them sell singles of non-nationally advertised beers, which prevents the quick Bud Light can, but lets them sell a nice liter of a craft Belgium ale or something. But moving beyond that, our biggest concern was deliveries, but they came back to us with a plan for deliveries that will impress upon their delivery drivers to use the loading zones at the end of Newbury Street. And it's very important that they communicate to the delivery drivers to not be tempted to stop along Mass Ave and block the traffic lanes and bike lanes there. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this application? Seeing none, the board will take this matter under advisement. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, everyone.
Returning to item 18, Sobo Bistro LLC. Is Attorney Hanley present?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you, Madam Secretary, Madam Chair, members of the board. And sorry, I'm not sure what happened, but it's good to be with you. I am here with Michael Norton, who is identified as iPad 155 and has just turned on his camera. Mr. Norton is the sole member of the LLC seeking the application, the property owner, and the proposed operator of this restaurant at 69 L Street. Just to give you a little perspective on the site, why it's unique and why we think it's most appropriate for a new beer and wine license to be issued. 69 L Street was the site of a fire that devastated the site in 2019. It was a single-story restaurant use towards the intersection of L Street, L and Broadway in the Gate of Heaven section of South Boston. Mr. Norton then proceeded to work with the community to put together plans to rehab this site after the fire and to build a new mixed-use building, which was approved by the zoning board and unanimously supported by the community to include new restaurant space, of which we're here today. And notwithstanding COVID-19, he was able to get near towards substantial completion of the space. We're probably a couple months away until it will be delivered. So we're here to ask the board to consider the public need and the dynamics in South Boston that really have been disadvantaged a little bit with respect to some of the licensure in the last 10 years, an area of South Boston that has not been able to meet the demand for this type of small scale, reasonably priced, casual, high quality dining selection. And so I put together for the board, and I don't want to go through it, but you have it in your records, a statement of significant public need, as well as some materials that show you the existing site that's been rehabbed. We of course have the floor plans that we'll go through quickly, as well as the menus. The concept is to open a bistro Italian fare restaurant. As you'll see in the floor plans, the capacity is roughly 40. They are contemplating about 7 or 8 4-top seats and a dining bar with 8 seats for full dining. Mr. Norton has experience in the restaurant industry, is also a lifelong South Boston resident, and will be the property manager as well. And so the grant of the license, Madam Chair, will help to address a public need that is not only growing, but has not been met in the last 10 years and is only getting more challenging for all of the new residents and the expansion. Over the last 10 years, South Boston has added 6,000 new residents and over 600 new units. Almost 200 of those units are in this Gate of Heaven section. And this board has seen and has licensed a lot of larger scale restaurants and bar concepts much further from this. But in the last 10 years, only one has received a new beer and wine license. And that's in part because we're not in a main streets area. So I bring that up because it's certainly supportive of the law and the factors that the board considers. The other thing I will mention quickly is the city recently approved 1.7 million square feet of new mixed-use development just a few blocks from here at the Edison plant. So in further support of that statement, and perhaps more importantly, is the voice of South Boston and its residents and its leadership. We have the full support of the neighborhood group, which is the Gate of Heaven Neighborhood Association. You have a letter of support from them. We have provided petitions of support by over 300 South Boston residents with an 02127 zip code from the immediate area, and over 25 letters and emails of support that were provided to Haley Dillon. So we would suggest that, I know that this board hears a lot of applications for new beer and wine licenses. This is all about meeting a community need for a concept that is small scale, that is accessible, that is unique, and that is supported in a part of a neighborhood that has not had this type of product to meet its growing demand. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thanks, Attorney Hanley. Could you or Mr. Norton go into some detail about what you're offering for food and beer and wine at this location?
Yeah, so
compared to other restaurants in the area, we have to look at public need, and if you could kind of tease that out a little bit for us for the record.
Yeah, so Mr. Norton has, working in the restaurant industry, but also managing properties in South Boston. There really is there are a lot of places that are much larger in scale, and there really isn't a lot of Italian cuisine, bistro style offerings. And so that's a need that's been articulated. Mike, if you can maybe speak a little more to that for the chair, that would be helpful.
Yeah, we're looking more to doing a fast casual type of Italian fare with a upscale quality towards it, but very affordable pricing for the neighborhood. There's not a lot of places in this area, as Councilor Hanley had mentioned, where you can just sit down without seeing a number of TVs, and it's a place where you can meet and have a conversation with people and getting good food as well.
Yeah, so you see, in the materials we submitted, there are like 5 small establishments within like 500 square feet. Only one of them received a new license in the last 10 years or had a license go in. One of them is the Paramount, which is helping to meet that need, but that's almost 10 years ago as well. And so, this is something that is reflected by the support that folks in the community who have come out, taken the time to sign petitions, write letters, express support to the mayor's office, because it really does reflect that in this part of South Boston, there is nothing like this available, and there's a growing need for it. And if you were to, for example, there's some great new restaurants on West Broadway down the lower end. That might as well be a whole nother neighborhood with respect to proximity from where we are. And so it's certainly not a short walk, and that's why we've really taken the time to articulate this based on the data and based on what we've heard from citizens.
Okay,
Of
another
which-
question. Go ahead.
Of which I am the landlord of the Paramount, which has been very successful and a good addition to the neighborhood as well.
Okay. Another question, just to put this in perspective, can you name 1 or 2 other restaurants in this neighborhood that are, the business plan is similar to yours? Like, this doesn't sound like you're trying to open up a sports bar where you're going to get, 140 people. I don't even know what the capacity numbers are, but you're not looking to be, not to pick any restaurant out, but like a Stats or something. You're looking for a different type of concept. So can you point to a couple of the restaurants in the area that you think that this is similar to as far as business plan?
Or even in the city, because there may not be enough in the area.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
And that's exactly what I don't want. And no reflection on Stats or any of the other sports bars, but I don't want anything like that.
So what are you looking, like some more details about what you're envisioning? I know you submitted a lot of stuff for us, but just to get a little more idea for the,
Again, something like on the Paramount scale with the size, but coming in and being able to eat and have a conversation with somebody and not everything be evolved around TVs
Okay.
with quality food as well.
I mean, a lot of these neighborhoods we hear, Madam Chair, like 10 Tables and Jamaica Plain was one of those, this really small, intimate environment. The original Franklin Cafe in the South End was that way, right? Not a huge space, but a place that you don't need reservations. It doesn't have, TVs and stuff, going on, but you can sit down, you can have a glass of wine or 2, you can have a dinner, and you can also do that without spending a ton of money and get something really quality. And that's kind of indicative of a good restaurant neighborhood, right? You have the big places first, and then some of these smaller places that really add to it. And South Boston hasn't gotten there yet. Again, there's full disclosure, Fox and Knife is fantastic, one of our clients down in the lower end, but I don't know, Mike, that's what, probably a mile and a half from you? And,
Yes.
So it's in this neighborhood, there's nothing like it.
Another tenant that I brought to that area was one of the first was the Franklin Cafe, which I was the landlord, and bringing them in as well. A concept that was geared towards food, not pushing a lot of alcohol and TVs. Again, that was a great addition to the neighborhood at the time. And that was before anybody else came in down there, and it was well received.
okay.
So if you look at the floor plan, Madam Chair, as I said, it's the space is fairly small, and it's designed, to reflect that level of intimacy, but also casual. 8 seats at the bar, which is a dining bar with the kitchen, so that everything's sort of interactive and inviting. And then you'll see there are 7 4-top tables, and so the idea really is to create a boutique atmosphere. And then as far as the cuisine goes, Capo, which is a great place, very big, very far from here, was one of the first to introduce an Italian concept in South Boston, and in some time. And so, we think there's obviously still a demand for that, especially in a real boutique type atmosphere that's very different in scale and concept, but sort of adds to that variety for the neighborhood.
Madam Chairman, there was a small, thinking back to what you said, something that was similar. Down the street at the corner of L and 8, there was a very good, well-established Italian restaurant that recently is closed and they're not planning on reopening. That is Mirasola's, which was been there for a number of years, but they have since closed their doors and I don't believe they have any intention of reopening.
One of the things you see, I know you had Attorney Quilty here talking about everyone's excited, especially in the neighborhood, to see the former Harbor Lights, the pavilion reopening. And it's also the waterfront is starting to connect much more so to this part of the neighborhood from City Point up to Gate of Heaven, especially with, some of the developments that we're seeing. So, we think it's the existing residents that has grown, but it's also the neighborhood continuing to be sustainable and allows us to deliver, a distressed property that was the site of a fire with this, this new use that will really be amenity for the people in the neighborhood.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Commissioner Saxon, Commissioner Curran?
Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this application, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Madam Chair, members of the board, Lisa Howard with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Speaking on behalf of my colleague Haley Dillon, the Mayor's Office would like to go on record to support. Our office held an abutters meeting for this back on June 11, 2019. In the past months, our office has not received any concerns and has received multiple letters of support specific to this proposal. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other elected officials or representatives of elected officials?
Good afternoon, Madam of the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Councilor Flink's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support based on feedback from abutters, neighbors, and the Gate of Heaven Neighborhood Association. Councilor Flynn will also respectfully request that the proponent continue to work together closely with abutters, neighbors, and the Civic Association on any quality of life issues as well. Thank you.
Thank you. And I see Karen Foley.
Hi, thank you. Karen Foley, Councilor Sabi George's office, would like to go on record in support of this project. And so what the people in South Boston, they're telling us that they need is somewhere they can sit down, have dinner, have a glass of wine, and not be bumped or pushed into. The other places are jam-packed and they're fun to go to sometimes, but sometimes people just want to sit down and have a glass of wine and a nice slice of pizza. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this application?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Alicia Payne here on behalf of Councilor Flaherty. The councilor would like to provide testimony in support of this application. Our office received numerous letters and emails expressing support for this small restaurant proposal and concept. The proponent is an experienced owner who has proven track record of standing by his commitments to the community and being present at all of his establishments. We encourage the proponent to work closely with direct abutters, neighbors, and the community at large to address any questions, concerns, or issues that may arise. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, Alicia, I didn't see you on my screen.
That's okay.
Any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this application? All right, seeing none, the board will take this matter under advisement. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Calling CGK on Newberry LLC, doing business as Crazy Good Kitchen, located at 266 Newberry Street, has applied for a common victular 7-day malt and wine license to be exercised on the above. The commercial restaurant located in the 2 subterranean floors of 266 to 268 Newberry Street, containing approximately 2,319 square feet with 2 rooms, seating capacity of 102. There are 2 outdoor patios open year-round on private property, containing approximately 700 square feet on the first floor with 10 tables. Patio hours are the same as the restaurant, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Storage is in the basement. Manager Selma M. D'Souza, closing hour 10 p.m. Attorney Louis Cassis. Attorney Cassis?
Good afternoon, Attorney Delaney Hawkins, Madam Chairman, members of the board, Louis Cassis for CGK on Newberry LLC. It's an application for a wine and malt restaurant license. The owners are Jose and Selma D'Souza. This would be their experience. This would be their second restaurant. The original, it's called Crazy Good kitchen is in Malden. It's been operating now for over 5 years with Selma and Jose, both operating the restaurant, their husband and wife. This property was originally licensed by Tapeo for about 30 years, where it was an all alcoholic restaurant license. They closed about 2 years ago, and the property's undergone a renovation. And hopefully Tony and Selma will operate this restaurant in the same manner as the other one was operated, other than the fact that this is a wine and malt license, not an all alcoholic license. I submitted the menu to the board. I don't know if you've got it in front of you, but basically nothing on this menu is over $20. It's mostly burgers, chicken, and desserts with milkshakes and soft drinks, and we'd like to add beer and wine to that array of things we're going to offer. Selma would be the manager. She and her husband are both U.S. citizens, Mass residents, and are experienced in the business and know the rules and regulations of the board. The outside area, it consists of 2 patios, one on each side of the entrance. That's have about 6 tables, which are about maybe 20 seats on each side, and inside would seat another 100 people. The hours are very limited, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., which would be the closing hour. And they've met with the local neighborhood group, and I believe they're in support. And hopefully it'll be an addition to the community. So I have Selma and Jose on line if you want to speak to them.
Yes, thank you very much. Again, we want to kind of tease out the public need here. I don't know, Attorney Cassis, if you want to take the lead on that, or if you want to defer to your client just about how you operate something different here than in other parts of the neighborhood.
This is a very moderately priced restaurant compared to a lot of the places on Newbury Street. As you know, it was fully licensed for many 30 years, and it was always a very vibrant and an active clientele there that was in need of the services of that restaurant. I think it would carry over to this one. This will be mostly operated for lunch and early dinner, not late night at all, which is a lot different than a lot of the places on Newbury Street. And it's a very unique menu, sort of gourmet hamburgers and gourmet chicken sandwiches, salads, very simple American fare that I think would go very, very well in the neighborhood. There's nothing like it in the area around it.
Okay, thank you. Thanks very much. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon?
Not at the moment, thank you.
Thank you. And is this manager of record a previously approved manager of record by the board?
The attorney covered all 4 questions.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this application, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Lisa High with the Mayor's Office and Neighborhood Services. The Mayor's Office would like to go on record to support. They have met with the Neighborhood Association of Back Bay and have no opposition specific to this proposal, as the applicant has agreed to a 10 p.m. closing time.
Thank you. Are there any other elected officials or representatives of elected officials who wish to testify?
Good afternoon, Chair, members of the board. This is Lauren Brody from Councilor Kenzie Box office. The council would like to go in support of this business. It is a family-owned business, and the Neighborhood Association Back Bay is in non-opposition. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this application?
It's Connor Armstrong, 439 Marble Street. I'm representing Neighborhood Association Back Bay. I'll just repeat what was already said. The applicant met with us, and NAB does not oppose this applicant.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this application? Seeing none, the board will take this matter under advisement.
Thank you very much.
Calling Mothership Alewife LLC, doing business as Revival Cafe, located at 103 Newbury Street, has applied for common bachelor 7-day malt wine and liqueur license to be exercised in the above on one floor, 1,579 square feet with kitchen prep space, 2 restrooms and cafe seating, 34 seats, 2 exits, 1 entrance, annual patio on private property with 18 seats, same hours as the restaurant, additional 28 patio seats on public property. For the record, the seating on public property will not be considered today as they have not gone through the public improvement process. Manager Stephen Postal, closing hour 9 p.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Hi there, co-owners Liza Shirazi and Stephen Postal are here representing Revival Cafe and Kitchen at 103 Newbury Street. Thank you to the board for hearing our application today. As you said, we're looking for an amendment to our CV to include wine, beer, and cordials from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. For indoor and our private outdoor patio space. We're also looking to defer the vote from the board for a week as including in our community outreach. We were not guided to reach out to NAB, so we just wanted to give them the extra time to meet and weigh in on our application. And we're also looking to defer the extended patio space that is on public property.
Okay, but Leslie, should we continue with the public hearing part of it, or do you want to? Okay.
Yes, we can hear the application and we'll take the request for deferral under advisement. In the future, should you be granted a license, in the future, should you seek the patio on public property, we can hear that once you go through the Public Improvement Commission process.
Great, so that sounds good.
Okay, so this, were you finished? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to make clear for myself, there's 34 seats inside. And then
it would be 18 now for the outdoor seating, not including the public space.
But then it says an additional 28 seats. So how does that work?
So I believe the 28 seats included the public and private.
Are you talking about like when it says on the street, talking about our temporary outdoor dining pilot?
Correct.
Okay.
So should a license?
That's not a permanent licensing thing. We wouldn't be approving that through this board in this process.
Right, just looking for the seats on the private property of the patio.
Okay. Okay. All right, so we have 34 seats inside. You're looking for a private patio of 18 seats with a 9 p.m. closing.
7 p.m.
Oh, sorry, 7 p.m. Okay, thank you. I just had to clear that up in my head. Commissioner Saxon or Commissioner Curran, do you have any questions at this time?
No, thank you.
Not at the moment, thank you.
Are there any individuals who wish to testify regarding this application, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Hi, Madam Chair, members of the board. George Wynn with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services, speaking on behalf of my colleague, Shanice Pimentel. The applicant conducted appropriate outreach to civic associations as directed, and there were no concerns voiced by abutters, aside from supervision of alcohol consumption on the patio, which the applicant has agreed to address by staffing. However, so that civic groups such as NAB have the ability to provide more complete feedback, at this time the Mayor's Office would like to go on record, would like to ask the board to hold the vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other elected officials or representatives of elected officials?
Hi, Chairwoman Joyce and members of the board. This is Lauren Brody from City Councilor Kenzie Bach's office. The councilor would like to go on record to request that the board defer the application for Revival Cafe. The NAB has not had ample time to review the application and discuss with their members, and we would like to defer until we hear NAB's decision in opposition or non-opposition.
Okay.
So we will write a letter and we'll submit a letter once we hear back from NAB. If that's, I'm not sure what the process is.
No, that's great. Yeah, we'll defer this and then we'll wait to hear from NAB and others.
Are there any other individuals who wish to testify regarding this matter?
Conrad Armstrong, 439 Marlborough Street, representing Neighborhood Association Back Bay. Yes, we've only had the past day and a half or so, past 2 days to survey our members. Is unfortunately through miscommunication. This came up on us very suddenly through no fault of our own or of the applicant. So thank you. We're asking for deferral, and yet we also are sympathetic for Revival Cafe to not have to wait another month. So we are going to come back with a NAB decision by the end of this week. So should we we'll notify Kenzie Bach's office and the applicant and the licensing board?
Sounds good.
Great, thank you very
Great.
much. And just to be clear procedurally, once the community process has been complete, this will be placed on old and new business, so it will not require a new hearing.
Thank you.
All right, the board will take this matter under advisement, and those are all the items before the board today. Thank you all very much.